Good morning, genealogy friends. We're taking a walk today. You've got me out and about. Genealogy in the wild. I am not actually anywhere that's interesting from a genealogical perspective, though. I am not at a cemetery or repository or anything like that. um, my kid's autism therapist is in our house right now, and they were playing a game that was super noisy. And it was one of those things where I thought, well, I could either cancel or I could just take a walk. And so you and I, we are enjoying some Salt Lake City outdoorsness. I'll show you the mountains in a second, but no poster today. But what I wanted to talk about was what kind of content is in the beginner course. We talked on Monday about how the courses are changing and how, oh, this is open, it's fine, and how there's going to be different levels of courses pretty soon and all of that. But the beginner level course is the same course that I've been teaching now for, I don't know, I can't remember when the first one was, maybe in January. Ooh, goodness. Sorry, we had a big windstorm and looks like a big tree fell down that we're even cutting down. Maybe I'll go this way. Well, I can walk over here for a little while. I don't know if you guys can see the mountains behind me. That's the Wasatch Mountain Range. We've got mountains bordering the whole Salt Lake Valley, so kind of fun. Anyway, so let's talk about if you have not taken the course yet, the course that is now going to be called the beginner level course, which is the same course that you will have taken if you've already taken courses from me. What's in it? Okay, so it is not just, this is family tree notebooks, here are the pages, and here's how you fill them out. Although part of it is that. Now, one of the big things that I don't talk about in the course, I feel like you're looking more at clouds than me. There we go. One of the things that I don't talk about in the course is how to actually add text and photos. There's a reason for that. We are all using different programs to do that. And if I had included, this is how you do it in GoodNotes 5, this is how you do it in Adobe Acrobat, this is how you do it in Foxit Reader. Not only would that not have applied to everybody, because there are people who are using programs that aren't even those three, it would have been outdated eventually. That's the problem with technology. There will at some point be a GoodNotes 6, and I will rant and rail and be irritated, and then I will switch and learn it because that's what we all have to do. So it makes more sense for me to make videos like that, not be part of the course. So the course does assume that you do know how to add text and photos. Now, does that mean that if you don't, there's no help for you and there's not going to be any way for you to get assistance? No. I mean, if you needed help with that, I can help you. I can do separate videos. I can do articles. You can ask the community. But that is the one big assumption, is that you walk into the course knowing how to add text and photos to the digital pages from Family Tree Notebooks. Past that, though, we do talk about the different types of pages. We talk about the sort of different categories: birth, marriage, death, work, things like that, parenthood. And we talk about how to find records to fill those pages up, challenges that you're going to encounter. But in addition to just talking about how to get your information on the right, what do you do? Sorry, I'm using this thing that is supposed to help my fibromyalgia so that I don't have as many tremors when I talk to you. But it's like, I think it keeps wanting to look at the scenery, so sorry about that. Anyway, in addition to just figuring out, okay, how do I find the information to put on the pages, we do talk a lot about how do you get everything in your family history work sort of centralized and on the same page, which means we talk about making the decision between whether digital genealogy There's definitely something in the. Oh, it was a quail. Sorry. Um, this is why I shouldn't take you guys outside. Squirrel. Anyways, um, all the quails. Okay, we talk about whether or not digital genealogy is going to work for you. We talk about how you don't have to digitize everything and do everything digitally, but what the benefits are and things like that. We also talk about getting things out of boxes, the things that you have that are tucked away, getting things that maybe you have pictures that are framed on the wall, making sure that you include those and add those to your notebook, getting things off of the computer, which does not just mean things that you've created and saved in the computer or things that you have scanned and saved to your computer. It also means things that you have saved on your ancestry account, on your in your family search, account, the part of your tree that family search has, my heritage, DNA tests, getting all of that stuff centralized so that you have it in your notebook, and also so that you have files on your computer, not online, but on your computer that match your notebook so that everything is working together, everything is organized the same way, and everything is findable when you need it. Because even though it may feel like it takes a while to get organized like that, and I just really want to make a book, I don't want to go back and do all of my files and things, it's all the same process. It's all, not only is it all the same journey, but it's all going to be part of the legacy that you're likely going to leave behind you, whether you're leaving it to family members, to a historical society, whether you're just leaving it and hoping that somebody understands what you've done. I think that it would be an incredibly small minority who says, I'm doing family history work and genealogy, but I don't care if anybody ever sees it or understands it. It's totally fine if I do all of this work and then it just gets thrown away. That is not That's not the goal for lots of reasons. One is that you don't want your hard work to go to waste, and the other is that um, as genealogists, we don't want anything to get thrown away. And we know how valuable the work is. We have mountains. Um, so we want to make sure that we protect it and share it and save it correctly. So we talk about that. I'm kind of going out of order now, but we do talk about what do you do with your book when you're finished. We talk about how do you share it, different ways of sharing it, making sure that you're sharing it in a way that isn't overwhelming to the people that are going to get it. So they don't do that thing where they just put it on the shelf or put it in a bin and wait for the magical day when they'll have time to deal with your research. This is not what we want. Um, we talk about what do you do if you're not sure who to leave it to. Um, how do you make sure that you are protected against the unexpected, that it's not just that you're going to get your book done over the next 10 years, but like how is your doing your work as you go so that, heaven forbid if something should happen to you, you haven't been waiting to put it into a recognizable form, that your research is ready and available to other people. Hello. I'm glad you guys are enjoying the walk. It's smoother too, right? This thing that I got for my tremors. I'll have to watch the video later, but I feel like it's smoother. Um, okay, what else do we talk about? We talk about doing photography. We talk about different ways to illustrate your book. One of which is, I'm going to go this way. One of which is photographing your family history artifacts and scanning things. We also talk about doing photos at cemeteries, um, taking, like, how do you scan things that are too large to be scannable, which the short answer is that you photograph them, but we talk about figuring out your lighting, which camera should you use, what are the photo formats that you should be scanning into and taking photos into, what do you do with those photos, how do you organize them on your computer, and we talk about illustrating your book when you don't have photos, when you have nothing to photograph. So then that's things like finding historical images, using clip art, other things like that. I'm trying to think. There's so much in the course. You can see why I am breaking it down into a la carte pieces, because I really tried to pour everything that I thought somebody would need to really get a good start in their notebook, but it's a lot of different topics. We talk about saving social media, making sure that you don't lose your Facebook posts or the Facebook posts and tweets and Instagrams and all that sort of stuff from other people, blog posts, things like that. Um, think. What else is in there? We talk about finding hard to find children and women, and what do you do for those ancestors for whom you have one record that there must have been a child, but you can't find much more than that. We talk about that. Um, I'm drawing a blank. This is the other problem with walking outside, is that I don't have my notes in front of me. Those of you who have taken the beta, feel free to chime in, or who have taken the course before. I know that I'm missing stuff because there are 30 different video lessons in the course. Talk about the future of genealogy, how everything's getting more digital. We talk about making sure that you have records for the right person, how to make sure that you're not tracking the wrong people down rabbit holes if they aren't your ancestors, they just have the same or similar names. And then we talk about occupation and tax records. I don't know. I feel like I've covered most of it, but basically it's a big course and it's very comprehensive. And I've been going through re-recording, creating the PDF guides so that there's both the recording and the thing that you can just flip through if you're better at learning and remembering through reading. I mean, do not plan on getting the course and just skipping the videos so that you can do the PDF guides. It's not what they are, but the PDF guides are a very handy way for you to remember what it was that I talked about in the video. And I thought, so some of the intermediate and advanced stuff has been planned out. I haven't recorded any of it. I'm going to be doing that in the fall. I thought about talking about what's going to be in those courses because I feel like people are really interested, but I don't think I'm going to talk about that yet because I don't want people to get confused and remember that I talked about something by the beginner level course thinking that I'm going to talk about that and then realize that that wasn't part of that. So just for sanity's sake, let's keep everything separate. But I have more, I found all the quails. I have more news about the course on Friday, including something that you know you guys are going to find really fun because you found stuff like this fun in the read. All right, am I still back? Sorry, I don't know if I was paused or not. It said that I had bad wireless connection. I'm basically wrapping up, but I will be back on Friday, and then registration will open on Monday for the full course, for the live course in September. Oh, that was the other thing I was going to say. The live course in September had been on sale before, not to a lot of people, but it had been on sale. And it is it's not full, but there aren't a lot of seats left in the live class in September. And I will not be pre-sailing the next live class after that. So one, if you've got your heart set on being part of the live class, which is, I keep calling it the September class, it actually starts the last week of August, but if you have your heart set on being part of the next live class, being part of the group that gets access to all of the pages that I've created, being part of the Facebook group, and being part of the group that gets the Zoom calls, I would be on it next Monday just because the classes, it's great, but they sell out a lot faster than I ever think they will. And because there are people who were already signed up for September's class before I made all the changes, I'm honoring those placements. So that class registration, it's going to go faster than, the next one will. So one, if you have your heart set on that, be ready on Monday too. If you have your heart set on that, just work on being a little flexible in your heart, maybe. The self-paced course is great. If you're having technical difficulties, of course, you can always reach out to me. Just, it won't be as much one-on-one help, but you'll still get access to the same great content if you can't get into the live course. And if you're really desperate to get into the live course and you don't because it fills up, I will be teaching it again in January. I just won't be opening registration as early because I am continually underestimating the amount of interest in the live course, which is fine. Okay, that's all from me. I hope you can still hear me. And I will be back on Friday, probably in my house, but thank you for joining me on this walk. One more shot of the mountains. Ah, Salt Lake City glory. All right, I will talk to you guys later.